Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it is January 7th, 2024. First thing in the morning, sun's just coming up. Gonna turn on the blower, or PTO, and we're gonna see if we can get some. We've got some things to do today, so I've got to try and get an early start here. Pretty windy out here today, really windy today, and we got several more inches last night and several inches yesterday. So, and I didn't do any filming of anything yesterday. And I'm going to try not to go too far over the area there. I did get a question, why don't I just pick the blower up in front? And I've tried to explain that as I am blowing, that I do purposely keep raising the blower up. But when you have a situation like we have where our property undulates, since the blower, and right now if you might be able to see here, the ground is still soft, even though it's 18 degrees right now, with a nice high wind chill. My front wheels, when they sink in, because the blower's out in front of it, it allows it to go down in there. But you can't see when your front wheels are actually sinking in. That lowers the blower in front of it. It's just how it works. If the front wheels are here and it sinks in, it drops that blower down in front of it. So, not a great situation when that happens. So I'm going to stay away from all those other areas where it's real wet. And I just got to get the driveway in this back area here cleaned out somewhat at this point. That's my goal anyways. Man, that wind is really blowing, so what I'm going to do, man, the ground is so soft, I'm just sinking right in down here. Come up here. You really need no insulation, in other words, no snow on the ground for this saturated ground to really firm up. Right now I'm on concrete. So it's outside the house here. This area appears to be pretty frozen pretty well. I don't have a good way of showing you a camera angle of where the, right now it's over a foot right here. Backing up when I'm close in between the pillars here and the house, spigots and all, water spigots. So always got to be careful when I'm up against the building. Oh Lord. Well, the high winds, in a sense, the high winds have been somewhat of a blessing in a sense. They really help to keep the snow accumulation down in all of the flatter areas. wind just whips across the surface, and it doesn't allow the snow to really accumulate too much in those areas. But I'm always trying to readjust. That's one of the reasons why I break up what I'm saying all the time. Constantly trying to readjust where this is, because that one video that I posted here recently, I sheared 7 pins in one day. Man, that is no fun. That eats up time, you know, breaking up all the snow and ice that accumulated in there. But things were worse in the past, so I can't complain. And you may notice my arm moving over here. That's where I'm lifting and lowering the blower. This blower is absolutely fantastic. Really good investment for me over the years. And this tractor, great visibility. The last video that I posted, which was over an hour, of just showing the snow blowing, I featured 3 or 4 more original songs about winter, about the white-tailed deer. I love country life. Tim from Tim's World posted a video, and I'm not sure how much snow he actually got, but probably 6, 8, maybe even 10 inches, I don't know. Him living in Ohio, he's just not used to getting the things like we get. And I can't imagine, well, I know how it is, but I lived in Tucson, and they had a rainstorm down there. That was the big doings. I walked outside, I was in the clinic, so there's this big rainstorm. And it does cause severe flooding down there. But it was nothing like the severe storms we have here in New York, central New York. So I know how it is to used to one part of the country and be a little bit taken back by significant weather events. I just, I'll take this anytime because we don't have the hurricanes or the tornadoes. We've had just a couple of tornadoes, never on my property, and up here, that were significant enough to really be an issue. And hurricanes are very rare up here. But we get snowstorms. And we get memorable ones. 66 was a doozy. And we had several throughout the 70s. He had talked a little bit about one of the snowstorms that we had. And that was in the 80s. It was either, I think that was in the early 80s, real early 80s. We got 4 feet at one time. I was moved into work, made it into work. But he had to leave work, and so one of the co-workers gave her a run because he had a lifted four-wheel drive. And the main roads were clear. But like our road, you know, these tertiary roads, country roads, they get to them when they can get to them when there's a big snow emergency. They have to just keep plowing. When that lake effect hangs over a location and is dumping a few inches an hour, and you have hours of it, and so every once in a while you get over a dozen hours of 3, 4, 5 inches of snow an hour. And that adds up into a heck of a lot of accumulation. As a kid, it meant no school. Man, nothing better than no school when I was a kid. I prayed for snowstorms. My poor father. And one of the things, my brother and I would go into town and shovel sidewalks, driveways to make a couple extra bucks. We're out in the country, we had to really hike it in to be able to do that. Now here's where things really undulate over here. So I've got to be real careful I don't dig down in there. So we are due for a significant amount of snow, but we're still under our usual amount of snow. Raise it up here pretty quickly here. I'm going to have to get another IBC tote of wood in soon. I always like to have 2 totes in. Something happens, get in the hospital, hurt myself. Much better be all prepared and have everything set here so it's easier. Amazing with these temperatures how this ground is so soft. And snow just insulates that ground and keeps it warm enough. Last night I was, so we have all these security and surveillance and monitoring cameras all around the property. Something caught my eye. I wasn't really monitoring the monitors, but when something flashes, sometimes it just catches my eye. So then I went over with the cameras, and I caught a fisher, which I don't see up here. Down and back, the fishers are down and back, and they're all around the forest down there, around the beaver ponds, and they're a really tough mammal, I'll tell you. They can take out a raccoon, a fox, a cat, a medium-sized dog. You know, they are as tough, and when they when they vocalize, it'll send chills up your back. Can't see anything right now. The ground dips over here and gets soft, so I have to be real careful with that. So I saw a rabbit. He had tracks and he had stopped next to the work area. And he was just hunkered down. And the rabbit will freeze when, when they feel threatened. So if they feel if they freeze and they're camouflaged, and of course he was right in a blanket of snow and that brown coat, he sort of stuck out like a sore thumb. And then Fisher, he went right after him so darn quick, got him and took him down and back. It used to frustrate me when I'd see something like that. But, the Fishers have got to live. Everybody's got to live. It's just life, it's nature. But we're really blessed, we get to see so many things. And I haven't put the trail cameras out in a while. Every time I set them up, because I've watched the beaver start working on a tree, and I'll set the camera up, I'll watch him work there, watch an owl come down, sit by the base when the beaver isn't there at all, and it takes them so long to take down the trees. I don't know why that is. That's one of the habits that the small trees they'll take down in no time at all. The good-sized trees, they'll work at it from time to time. Sometimes they'll just stop working at it. I'm not sure why they stop at times, but they do. Snow's blowing today. Us not being employed, I'm not out here at 4 o'clock in the morning blowing the snow out every morning so we can get to work. So it's kind of nice that we don't have to do that. But sometimes I say, oh, I'll just wait until it gets a little more snow. And of course, when the delivery guys get here, they don't appreciate that. Oh well. That's it. Yesterday, they had an appointment, a doctor's appointment for an injection, basically. So it really wasn't like seeing the doctor. So we took Thor, the Cybertruck, down. It's down in East Syracuse where we go. So I break up here because I'm right next to the statues, one right behind me and this one right here. And of course the overhangs in the garage. And so we took Thor out. Full self-driving from right here. I'll tell you, it's so smooth. It's so human-like, or like make an excellent chauffeur. Smooth as glass the whole way. Followed all the rules of the road. And went into the parking lot, navigated part of the way around in the parking lot. It's a complex, you know, it's a big medical facility. So it navigated part of the way around. And so I pulled up to a place where there were a few parking spots, and of course I said, told it to go ahead and park. It parked perfectly. And so it's so nice to have that feature with full self-driving. Now it's still, at this point, we still have to supervise it. There was another undulation in the road here, change in elevation. So I just dug down a bit more. You'll see the spot as I back up. But this ground is firming up better. Anyways, having that truck, I mean, it handles so beautifully. It's such a good workhorse so far. Everything that I've been hauling with it, it's been fantastic. Now, I haven't hauled any trailers with it, but I'm talking about using the pickup bed with a tonneau cover and all. And that is just amazing. Jesus. Just dug in again. That same spot. That's been fantastic. I have another toolbox coming soon. I hope it's coming soon. So I didn't restock the back of the truck yet. Just so I can not have to take everything back out and get the toolbox in. And once we dig down, that creates another low spot where when the wheels get in there, the next time, well, it's just one more chance for me to dig in again. But anyways, parked in the spot, and then it was late in the day. It was late in the day, so we decided, oh, we'll go to Chipotle and pick up our dinner for the two of us. So from there, from the parking spot, I said just navigate to Chipotle, the one that we wanted to go to. And pulled out of the parking spot, navigated to the parking lot, smooth as glass, drove all the way there, parked automatically in a parking spot there in their parking lot. Some nice lady came up with her, you see the people with their phones out, filming the truck with her daughter. And she was super excited. Her daughter, usually it's the kids that are going nuts over the truck. But her daughter was more interested in eating because they had just gotten their food from Chipotle and they were in their truck, I guess, getting ready to go home. But they both came over. I showed her, she got the videotape, record inside of the truck and all. And, I think she might end up, she already got a referral code from one of her friends who has a Tesla. I don't remember which Tesla her friend has. She was thinking about getting a Model X. But when she saw the Cybertruck, she says, this is what I'm going to get. Now, she's a city person, I don't know. She just would use it like many people do, as I guess like a show-off car in a sense. The way a lot of people just want to hit it. But I'll tell you, it handles better than any car I've ever had. It turns. It's even better than the Prius as far as turning radius and with those big tires, such a smooth ride with all our potholes around here. It's just amazing. And in case anybody's ever interested in ordering one or going through, oh man, I just kicked up some big chunks of sod and ice there. Dang, we gotta be careful. If anybody's ever interested in ordering one, always use a referral code. Now their big deals are done with because at the end of the quarter, the end of the year, big sales event until you could get $2,000 off on most of the vehicles, $1,000 to $2,000. I think it's just $1,000 now that you can get off besides the $7,500 tax credit if you qualify for that. But yeah, so there's a referral link in the description below if anyone's ever interested in doing it. Don't ever order it first and then try to use someone's referral code, because they won't honor it. Always make sure you use a link when you're in the process of trying to order it. Boy, this has really drifted over here. Turn my four-ways on. Soft spots where my tires just are digging in, so I gotta get stoned down in here. My buddy who has an excavation company, he also pumps septic systems and all. Now he's so busy with pumping septic systems and municipal water services companies require him an awful lot, and use his resources all the time. So he's busy all the time, so he doesn't do as much of hauling gravel and all that. He does have his own gravel line. But I'm really going to want limestone for the driveway here. Gravel for some of the other roadways and all is fine, but here limestone's pretty darn expensive because it has to be hauled quite a ways. The mine is the only active mine is about 35 miles away, 35, 40 miles away. So pretty expensive hauling the limestone back and forth from there. And I may end up buying a new dump trailer, just doing it bit by bit with the Cybertruck and all. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather hire someone to just come in here. I'll do the work with, getting the driveway all prepped. She said these sorts of things. Well, everything's expensive nowadays, so. And I don't have a little driveway. Hear all those little rocks shooting out of there. Dang it. Interested in, I'm also a big Tesla person, huge Tesla fan, huge Tesla investor, and what I do with my investments is not investment advice for anyone, but I did write a couple of articles and post them yesterday on our website, mindfullivingsanctuary.com, about some of my projected estimates where the company's going financially based on the business models and the potential, the total addressable market, the TAM. And mine are all, just look at it right here, make sure. Man, there's so much sod and stuff up here. But in front of the camera, the snow looks okay, but above it with my eyes, the snow doesn't look so great. When he piles up my neighbor, he pushes the snow from the driveway, it ends up getting right next to the hydrant here. And it's really hard for me to snow blow right around the hydrant here. But he pushes it right there, and then we get the drifts. Explained to him that not the best way to do that over here. So I'm just along the road here. There's lots of sod and not too many stones in here, but frozen sod and all here. Yes, there are some stones in there. See, when the wing of the plow goes by, it'll go in the beginning of the season when there isn't that much snow. They'll set that wing down really low and keeps the truck on the road itself. But that, oh my God, there's a big chunk of sod here. But what that does is it rips a lot of the sod that's along the shoulder of the road up. And each time they come by, it just sort of pushes it back up. Fortunately, it's fingers crossed. supposed to get probably another 4, I think Thea said 4 to 6 inches over the next 24 hours, which is all manageable. It's not it. So if we drive along the roads, if I do shoot any video today going, because we got some road trips today, if I do shoot any video, you'll see the banks along the roads now. But if you look at hard banks, because we're using a snowblower, well, that makes all the difference in the world. I do want to put concrete around here so I don't have all the weeds, and I have a nice place for packages to get delivered to. Those winds coming out of the west, it works out really well that we get very little accumulation of the snow here. You step off to the side, you'll be right up to your knees. Do a very thorough blowing this morning. Just going to clean out the main pads. Not going to do the main pads around behind the barn. The temperature is supposed to stay in the teens for, I think, for the next week. It might hit 20 a couple of days, but I think we're going to be pretty cool. Should go ahead and top off the fuel too. See that now. Man, soft ground got into that again. be between 1/4 and 1/2, and I don't like fuel getting that low. When the ground is solid, this baby just cuts right through so beautifully. Had all that pouring rain, saturated ground. Been down and back in a few days. We've had some real doozy windstorms. So I don't know how many trees are down. Again, this is an area where there's lots of rocks right up ahead up here by Eli. So you've got that lower up pretty high off the ground. We're just taking the top few inches off here. Like to go down, if the ground is frozen beforehand, this time of year, after these big snowstorms, I usually like to go into the lawn sun and just clear some lawn area where the grass is pretty tall, so the deer can get in there and replenish some of their reserves. They have the benefit of all the acorns during the fall time. Really gives them a lot of fat, and their hollow hairs really help to insulate them, help them to float when they're in the water, swimming. But they weren't out last night, just the rabbit and the fishers. is where the fisher got the rabbit down here. If you don't know what a fisher looks like, Google them on YouTube or YouTube video. Go to YouTube video and see some of that. I think I only have small little snapshots in our cameras that we've shot out next to the ponds and all the last few years. I didn't do any this year. So wet. Fortunately, it's not snowing yet, so that's a blessing. Higher speed here.
Well, I'm not a kid, but I'm young at heart. Living in the country, it's a work of art. Walks in the woods where the quiet reigns. Beaver ponds glisten after winter rains. The gardens and forests, they're life to me, feeding our bellies with simplicity. Thank God I'm a country boy. Every day's a blessing, it's a life I enjoy. Feeling the soil and watching it grow. Even in winter when there's ice and snow, the land gives back in the sweetest way. Thank God I'm a country boy every day. The food forests thrive, the seasons turn. In the cold winter's grip, there's still much to learn. Stored apples and squash and greens we've grown remind me that we're never alone. Digging in the dirt, my soul feels alive. In this country life, I truly thrive. Thank God I'm a country boy. Every day's a blessing, it's a life I enjoy. Feeling the soil and watching it grow. Even in winter when there's ice and snow, the land gives back in the sweetest way. Thank God I'm a country boy every day. There's joy in the simple, the work of my hands. The creeks, the ponds, and these fertile lands. A quiet peace only nature can bring, and a grateful heart makes my spirit sing. Thank God I'm a country boy. Every day's a blessing, it's a life I enjoy. Feeling the soil and watching it grow. Even in winter when there's ice and snow, the land gives back in the sweetest way. Thank God I'm a country boy every day. So here I'll stay till my days are done, living this life under God's bright sun. From gardens to forests, I found my home. Thank God I'm a country boy, I'll never roam.